So yeah, beautiful people, it's your mentor Tumele JP here, and welcome to Market Breakdown Monday with me, where we are going to be analyzing price together and also reviewing some of the trades that we took last week. On today's session, we are going to be focusing more on GBP USD. I'm not sure about GBP USD, but more of GER30, gold, and US30. But before we start with this video, guys, please make sure that you hit that like button, you subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And then for analysis and entry points, make sure that you join the free group. The link is there in the description section, so that you will always be updated on some of the things that I post on the free group regarding the setups that I've said here on YouTube. Other than that, let's get into this video. Okay, so as you guys can see here, that okay, this was one of the setups that we had on US30, where we were anticipating that okay, US30 would tap us into our demand area and then rally to the upside to come and eliminate this trade here. So this trade, as you guys can see here, that okay, it was a clean 30R trade. So for those of you guys that are in this trade at the moment, by now you should know that okay, you should be sitting on plus minus 18R, right? Plus minus 18R on this trade. But like I said, our goal is to make sure that we go and eliminate that high. But then for those that went for a risk, not the risk, a high risk trade, right? Note that okay, your trade at the moment is currently floating on plus minus what? Is currently floating on plus minus 11R. So if you have both entry points, you know that you are on 11 and 18, right? So which means you are roughly around about 29R on this trade, right? Okay, so now one thing that I want us to do also is that okay, I want us to look at what is it that we can possibly anticipate today or this week actually, right? So now if we move to a smaller time frame, as I've told most of you guys that okay, the best thing that you can ever do as a trader is to make sure that you understand the type of structures or the type of waves that are there within the markets, right? Because as you can see that okay, now what is it that we have? We have an impulse correction, a big impulsive movement, a big correctional movement, which means we're looking for a big impulsive movement to come and eliminate that high. So which means now at the moment we're trading in between what? We're trading in between, we are currently trading in between this low and that high, which means we are on a minor structure going to eliminate that high, which means we're at what? We are at an impulsive wave, right? Like I said, if you find yourself in an impulsive wave, what is it that you do? You look for buying opportunities, because that's what price is going to keep doing until it eliminates that high. So if we move to our 15 minutes time frame, as you guys can see that okay, price has been impulsing beautifully so to the upside. And then guys, there was a third entry actually that most of you guys, I'm not sure if you guys saw it or what, right? There was a third entry because this was the first, second, right? So this was the first here, this was the second here, so which means we had a third entry here on a 30 minutes time frame where price came to respect what? Where price came to respect this demand area here. So this is where price came to do what? Price came to respect this demand area here. So which means that okay, this was what? This was our third entry point, right? So now it was 1, 2, 3. Now we're looking for the fourth entry point. So for the fourth entry point, if you move to probably 11 minutes time frame, you'll then see that okay, when price open with what? With imbalance, right? So which means that okay, this then becomes what? Our area of interest, right? So which means that okay, this low here is gonna be what? It's gonna be our temporary low. So this price efficiency here, right? This gap, as you guys call it, or FVG, or whatsoever that you guys call it, that's where most of you guys have entered. But we will be looking for our entry points where we'll be looking our entry points on this demand area here, right? We'll be looking for entry point where on this demand area here. So this means that okay, now why are we doing this thing? We're doing this thing because of what? I'm sure most of you guys can see that okay, we're on a bullish structure. A high was taken out here, right? We have what? We have a weak high here. We have a weak high here, right? And then we have this low here as what? We have this low here as what? As our strong low, right? We have this low here as what? As our strong low. So if this low becomes our strong low, this means that okay, now what is it that we're gonna do? We are going to then look for what? For buying opportunities within this area here. This means that okay, with our calculated risk, if we look for this buy from this area here, right? If we look for this buy from this area here, our take profit would be what? Will be the same level actually. Will be the same target area here, right? Which means it's gonna be a 39R. This one is what? If you are still holding this trade, actually, This one will be what? It will be our, let's check here. It will be about 20, 23, 25, 22 actually. And then this one will be what? As we've mentioned, this one will be our 18R, if I'm not mistaken, or our 80. And then we also have the main one here, right? The main one here is what is our, sorry about that. Okay, let's just wait. Let me just see what is it that I did wrong actually here. Okay, let me just bring them back actually. So this was the other entry. I think the problem is my internet connection. I think my problem is my internet connection. Okay, yeah, we're back at it. Okay, we're back at it. Okay, as I was saying that, okay, this was gonna be what? This was going to be our other entry point here. Was going to be our other entry point. So which means we have 1, 2, 3, 4 entry points, right? And then if you calculate everything by strictly focusing on one index, right? We have what? We have this here, this here, this here, this here. So I think the first one was around about 22R. Actually, yeah, 20, let's say 8, I think it's 18. Yeah, it's 19R. This one is 19R. I'm gonna add that 19 with what? You're gonna add that 19 with 31. It's gonna be 31R, and then you add with this one here, it's gonna be 22R, right? Plus 22R. And then also gonna add this thing with what? We're also gonna add them with this trade here, right? Which means it's gonna be plus another 39, right? So let's just check with the calculation that, okay, here, if we were to go for all trades, how much is it that we are going to be doing what? How much is it that we are going to be actually be making? So it's 39. It's 39 plus our 19R plus our 31R plus our 31R plus our 22R, which means this trade here, this whole trade here is worth 111R, right? This trade here alone is worth 111R, right? So moving on, so this is what we are currently anticipating, right? This is what we are currently anticipating on what? This is what we're currently anticipating on US30. So make sure that you put your alert, and then when price taps you in there, if you trust me, take your trade. If you take a loss, it's part of trading, man, right? And yeah, so moving on to another pair. This is what? This is DEX, right? So on DEX, what is it that we had? We had a buying opportunity on this guy here, right? We had a buying opportunity on GER30, as you guys call it. We had a buying opportunity here on GER30, and then we're then looking for what? We're looking for an impulse to the upside, right? And then now we are this trade, I think this trade is plus minus 11R, right? It's 11R because the demand is big, right? This trade is what is an 11R trade. So now if you come to your 16 minutes time frame, let's just go to 16 minutes time frame, you will then see that, okay, there was another re-entry point that was caught by one of my students, right, in the VIP section. One of my students managed to catch another buying opportunity on this guy here, right? They managed to see that, okay, price has to turn somewhere around this area here, right? Somewhere here, right? Let's just look for the area before you guys say that I'm making things up, right? There was an area that one of my students managed to identify, right? So this is the area here, right? So he was looking for buying opportunities because if I told him that, listen, if you're going to look for buying opportunities, look for buying opportunities in this specific area because of it's more safer, right? It's more safer for you to do it, look for those buying opportunity within what? Within the markets, right? So as you guys can see that, okay, this was the first entry point here, right? With the stop loss just right here. Then he caught the second entry point, which is this one here, right? And then now we're currently looking for another entry point around this area here, right? But I wasn't trading today. I wasn't looking for any form of opportunity within the markets, but these were the two main entry points that we saw on what? On GER30, right? So this means that, okay, this brings us to a total of what? 11 and 11 actually, which means it gives us 22R on this trade. Right, it gives us what? 22R on this trade. And then if you took this one here, right? If you took this one here, I don't know, right? It depends because I don't normally go for this ones here, right? Even if price hits your stop loss, you know that, okay, your next entry point can be around this area here, right? You can then come and say that, okay, you're gonna look for another entry point within this area here, right? So this means that, okay, if you take this buy here also, this means that, okay, your take profit is gonna be at that level there, which means this is an 18R also. So which means that, okay, let's just call it a funded area. So this one here will also be your other entry level, right? This will be your other entry and the other entry level, right? So this is what we're currently having on this guy here, right? And then coming to the last one, which is gold. Let's check what is it that gold is doing, right? Gold, we are looking for a buying opportunity where at our demand level, which is this area here, right? So our institutional fund week high. So, and then this means that, okay, this low here will be what? This low will become our strong low, right? This becomes our strong low. So this then means that, okay, if you go to your 12-hour time frame, you'll then see that, okay, there's a demand area that we can use here, right? So making this the low before this demand here, our inducement. So this make our low here, our inducement, right? And then what is it that we are then looking for too from the market? We know that, okay, if we are going to look for this buying opportunity, our take profit will definitely be where? At this, will definitely be at this high here. So this means that, okay, now at this area here, we are going to be looking for buying opportunities and then seeing ourselves rally up with price to go and eliminate that high there, right? So this is what we currently have. So you now found the area stop loss here. And then this means that, okay, if we check here, we have what? An impulse correction, which means we're looking for an impulsive movement, which means that when price taps into our demand area here, we'll then be looking for those buying opportunities also on the minor structure to go and eliminate the high that price is giving us, right? So this means that, okay, this is what we are going to be anticipating within the markets, right? So for this week's analysis, we are currently done, but there's a B setup also that most of you guys, I'm sure you've seen, right? There's a current B setup on gold. There's a current B setup here, right? There's a current B setup on gold that most of you guys are looking for, right? So we call this thing a B setup. Like I said, not every setup is an A setup. Let me just work on this. Okay, so this is what you currently have here. Right, so this means that, okay, most of you guys are then gonna be, because there's FOMC, there's a lot of fundamental that is occurring this week. So I believe that price can also do what? Rally to the upside, tap us in, give us that drop to our demand, and then we can then go and eliminate everything, right? So what does this mean? This means that, okay, most of you guys would be welcome to look for a demand area here, right? If you go to your 15 minutes time frame, you'll then see that, okay, there's a clean demand area here, right, that you guys can look for buying opportunities from. I don't like doing this, truth be told. Hence why you wouldn't see me most of the time entertaining these types of setups here that are like this. Let me just attach that. So this means that, okay, we are going to be having something like that. So which means we then look for these buying opportunities within the market, then wait for price to tap us in, right? And then push to the downside to go and tap into our main demand area, right? So this is what we currently be having within the market, right? This is what you're currently having, right? So for this week, we're currently done with our market breakdown, guys. It's always advisable for you guys to trade a 1 or 2 pair, right? Don't invest your time in trading a lot of pairs, right? And then wishing you guys nothing but a profitable week. There's a lot of fundamentals occurring this week: NFP, FOMC, and I think non-farm something, the one that is occurring on Tuesday, right? So make sure that you always alert on your analysis, check price, be updated, and make sure that you chop the market, right? And then other than that, I'm wishing you guys nothing but a profitable week. Don't forget to join the free group. And then for those of you guys also that are around Pretoria, kindly know that, okay, I'm gonna be hosting a free masterclass. So make sure that you send me a text, right? And we can start working from there. Other than that, wishing you guys nothing but a profitable week, and let's get it.